throw it out there in the field in the Cup Series, but I think that, there's ways and steps to get these cars to be less air dependent, and by, again, going back to using the All-Star race to test these parts and pieces. If it improves the racing, I'm all for it. If it doesn't improve the racing, then we can just chalk it up and say, I'm glad that we didn't have this put in an entire season.
Story we're certainly going to be following. Steve Wilson, editor-in-chief of Speedway Digest, our official NASCAR contributor. Steve, I know you've got the weekend off, no races this weekend, so sit back and enjoy doing absolutely nothing, sir. But please put on clothes. Just please. All right, buddy.
Right.
Have yourself a good weekend. All right.
You too.
Steve Wilson, editor-in-chief, Speedway Digest, our official NASCAR contributor. I appreciate him joining us on his weekend off, as NASCAR's off this weekend, and I know he was a little bit under the weather as well, so hopefully this weekend is a good recovery time for all. We'll be right back with Ed Kratz, beat writer, Philadelphia Eagles, and our official NFL contributor. We're going to do our annual NFL mock draft. Adam Jivitin, Brown superfan, is going to be joining us in about 15 minutes. And in about 30 minutes or so, Mo from the BS Sports Show is also going to be joining us, and we're going to be chiming in on the draft. And we'll try to get through our mock draft as best as possible. My name is Sal Michael Sal, President. We'll be right back.
Tonight.
The Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active-duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
It's double trouble, double the fun at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals, see live educational shows, feel the excitement. Have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo. Feel the adventure. Shop the Symbol Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike,
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your move.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives? I'm not even upset about anything.
And welcome back to The Balance. 1 hour in the books. Thank you to Matthew Embry, our official Indy Car contributor, breaking down Indy Car as Indy Car comes home to Daddy here in Indianapolis, getting ready for the Indianapolis Grand Prix in a couple weeks, and then the 103rd running of the Indianapolis 500, one of the biggest events of the year, especially if you're a racing fan or live here in Indianapolis. Happy Easter. Happy Passover to you. Happy escaping the Moeller Report reporting. Whatever it is that brings you here today, so glad that you join us. It's our official NFL draft and mock draft. Before we get into that, I do want to be that awesome uncle that I am, and that is welcome to the world of my awesome new niece, Sophia Rose Marquis, born at 4:29 in the morning, 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Time for the baby snuggles and to give her back to Mom and Dad. Joining us, though, now, Ed Kratz, beat writer for the Philadelphia Eagles, and football maven.io/Eagles. I hope I got that right because I don't have it in front of me. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, good, Tom. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Grandchild number 2, right?
No, my niece. No.
Oh, your niece.
Don't push
Oh,
that
your
on
niece.
me.
Oh, it was your son.
I'm sorry. My niece. My awesome niece. So yeah. Don't wish that on me. I one grandchild that spoils enough. No, I'm just kidding. No, my brother and his wife had a baby. But yes, no. No, but hey, I wouldn't be opposed to it. That came out wrong. I love my granddaughter, but hey, she's expensive enough as well. Joining us also,
now your niece will. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say now your niece will be spoiled. Now your niece will be spoiled,
absolutely.
just like your granddaughter.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They live an hour and a half away from me, so I got to get over there this weekend. But yeah, and joining us also, who told me he had some daddy duties, but apparently doesn't now. So Adam, a super fan of the Cleveland Browns. How are you, sir? Happy Easter to you.
Happy Easter to you, Tom. And it's also my son's birthday today. It's his 3rd birthday. So
wow,
yeah,
what
we've
are the
got
odds
daddy duties.
that you would have a kid on they share a birthday, and what are the odds? Well, guys, let's get into this. We're going to talk about each team's prospectively, and we're going to get into the mock draft. We'll start with you, Adam, because it's the Cleveland Browns. It's the most exciting thing next to having a baby. The Browns have some draft picks coming up. Talk with us a little bit about your thoughts about the Cleveland Browns going into the 2019 draft down at Nashville. What's the strategy? What's the thoughts? They've got some maneuverability.
Yeah, we've got the second pick the 17th pick in the second round. No first round pick due to the trade for Odell Beckham Jr., which, if you had to tell me they could swap that pick for if they could swap that pick for one of the best, most talented receivers in the NFL, I'd make that deal all day long. So, I think this draft, they got to focus on a couple positions. We've got to replace a safety since Jabril Peppers was a part of that trade. They could use maybe another corner and some depth at linebacker. They're not. They're pretty loaded in most levels. So, this team it's about building up that depth. That's where you see championship teams really shine, is in their second and third wave of players. And that's where the Browns in years past that had some star power kind of fell apart once that star power got injured or missed some games for a variety of reasons. So that's going to be the next step for Mr. Dorsey and company.
Ed, talk with us a little bit about the Cleveland Browns, their strategy going into the NFL talk. We'll get into the Eagles, and then we'll start beginning with our mock draft. Mo from the BS Sports Show is going to join us here at the bottom of the hour. But go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, Adam's the expert on the Browns for sure, and I'll take his word for it. They do need probably some help at cornerback, and I've seen some mock drafts that have had them taking a cornerback with that 17th overall pick in the second round. Maybe even a kid from Temple right here in Philadelphia, Rocky Sin, who's a pretty good cover corner.
Wait a minute, stand by. Did you say his name is Rocky?
It's Rock, yes. His first name's Rock. And his last name is Yasin, I think.
What are the odds of a kid going to Temple in Philadelphia being named Rocky? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I digress.
I'm not sure he goes by Rocky, but it's just Rock. But yeah, it should be called Rocky. Rock Yasin is his name, and he did well in all the pre-draft stuff. Some of the bowl games and the combine. It's put him in good, solid position to be a second-round pick, and maybe the Browns. Take him, and then there's a couple linebackers, like Adam said, that they could use help there. Maybe the kid from Alabama, Mac Wilson, could be a target for them. But Adam's right. You're only as good as what your depth is. You only have 53 guys on an NFL roster, and 46 of them are allowed to dress on game day. And I know the Eagles, Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson talk about it all the time. Is everybody that suits up on game day, all 46 of those players have to play or have to be ready to play at least. So, there's always in-game injuries that will cost you, key players, and then there's, the longer-term injuries. But you have to be ready to plug in parts. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017, they were hit with a slew of injuries, but they were very good at taking care of their depth. They had depth up and down the roster. And that's kind of where the Browns sit going into the draft, is they want to try to build that depth for just to kind of in case something happens to that roster during the season in terms of injuries or suspension, whatever it might be.
Ed Kratz, beat writer for the Philadelphia Eagles, our official NFL contributor. Let's go inside the locker room there in the Philadelphia Eagles, the war room, the strategy room. What are the scouts saying? What are the Eagles doing? Post-era, should we say post-Jolly Old St. Nick era? And a lot of people think that maybe they made a mistake of letting Nick Foles go because Carson Wentz still isn't 100%.
Well, it's nice to have an experienced backup quarterback, and that's what Foles gave him. The team loves Nate Sudfeld, an Indiana kid, from Indiana, but nobody really knows how good he is. He's only made one start, and that was in a meaningless regular season game, in 2017
he went to Indiana.
Cowboys.
Of course he's good. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We may have to see just how good he is if something should happen to Wentz, or Wentz isn't healthy enough to start the season. Wentz will be ready game one of the season. I'm quite sure of that. He met with reporters earlier this week and told us that he's pretty optimistic that he'll be even ready for OTAs in May. But, I know how the Eagles operate, and they won't rush him. They'll say, hey, we're not playing a game in May or June. We don't play till September. So they're going to take their time with him. But, Wentz is 100%. He'll be 100% by the time the season starts. I have no doubt about that. The fact that the concern is, can he stay healthy for all 16 games? That remains to be seen.
So let's get into it, guys. Let's start this mock draft. Mo from the BS Sports Show is going to join us here in about 15 minutes or so. But we want to make sure that we're able to get through this. We'll start with you, Adam. You think we're going to see any surprises in round one, or Arizona Cardinals going to take Kyler Murray? I mean, I think that's just a foregone conclusion, but we've been surprised in round one of the NFL draft before, and you got to wonder, do they really want to get rid of their current quarterback? But Kyler Murray seems to be the guy for the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, I think Arizona takes Kyler Murray, and frankly, I think it's a mistake. They have so many holes on this roster, and they have a guy that if he was coming out this year in Josh Rosen would be rated